Can our eyes deceive us? Here we see a framed painting on an easel. It looks like the portrait by a Dutch master, perhaps Rembrandt himself or from the school of Rembrandt. It's got all the ochre type coloring that we would expect, the browns and some of the blues and greens in the face that we would associate with that school. They limited their palette greatly in order to have these kind of very realistic renderings of the human form. I think we'd have to look a little bit closer. Look at the area of the face where the hat is casting a shadow onto the forehead. That transition is done very subtly. And then let's look in. We see the accomplished shadowing around the eyes, both on the dark and light side of the face. We see the deep, dark colors of ochre underneath the nose. We see the parted lips that have a strong black line in between them. We see the kind of transitional shadowing with blues and reds inside the shadow that we would expect to see from Rembrandt. When we get right up to the closeness of the paint, we see a few things. First of all, do you notice there's no cracking? This painting isn't old. Do you also notice that the brush strokes appear very uniform, almost like waves seen from an airplane hovering above the ocean? They're kind of moving in similar directions, but they're not moving. These brushstrokes are not moving in a way that moves with the paint itself. That's how we know that this is a forgery. In fact, it's not just a forgery. It's a painting by a 3D printer meant to copy the style of Rembrandt. And if you go to the website nextrembrandt.com, you'll be shocked to see how much one of these 3D printers can actually accomplish. It's totally fascinating. I've just gone into my studio to show you a few of the forged Rembrandt type paintings that I've been working on for the last little while, showing you how I've developed cracks in the painting. And let's just come up close to another one and I'll show you what we can do with lead white here, because I'm going to show you the difference between lead white and titanium white. There's a familiar fellow. And this is the canvas I'm currently working on. It's in the very early stages. It's got many layers still yet to go. And I come down here and I look at my palette. I've got some titanium white on the right, invented after 1915, and lead white on the left, which is much more malleable. You can do much more with. Here I am on the canvas, and I'm going to show you what I can do with it by drawing out some of the lead white that I have here on the left. And you can see that it spreads very easily, but the titanium white just becomes much more of a mess. It won't lay properly on top of the canvas. It's really more of a mixing white, and it's bright and brilliant and made for modern work, not for the kind of 17th century painting that Rembrandt's age would have been doing. But when I draw out that lead white, you could see the kind of body that it has, the subtleness, and you can do a lot more with the variety. That's beautiful. So that's something that I can't show in a face-to-face class.